This lesson is about translating and looking at some words that will give you a hint, as if it was reading it like in a word problem or something like that. You're going to be looking for key words that are telling you what operation you need to do. So like some of the key words that you're going to see here for addition: sum, increased by, plus, more than, and total. Now, if you're looking at subtraction, though, you might see some words like difference, less than, subtracted from, minus, or decreased by. So those are some words that you might see for addition or subtraction. Now, for multiplication, you might be looking for some words like times, product, twice, double, or even of. Then if you come over here and we're looking at division, some of those words that you might be looking for would be divided by, quotient, one half of, or separate. Now this isn't the only words that you can see, but these are just some of the common ones. Now, if you're looking for trying to figure out words or phrases that maybe you're going to be putting in parentheses, you're going to be looking for some words like times the sum of or times the difference of. These are a couple key words that you might look for to figure out that you need to put parentheses around an expression. Now, some tricky ones that are going to get you are called the turnaround words. These are going to be words like less than or subtracted from. Like if I say 2 subtracted from 3, you actually would write 3 minus 2. Even though the 2 was listed first. That's why they call these turnaround words. 2 subtracted from 3 would be 3 minus 2. So let's look at some examples of how we would see these. Like the product is telling us to do multiplication of a number. When they say something like the number, that means it's a variable. Most cases here, I'll just use x, and 3. So the product of a number and 3. So 3 times the number, so it's 3x. Usually when we write these, even though the number was listed afterwards, whenever you write a coefficient, the coefficient always goes in front of the variable. So if you're looking at number 2, the difference of a number and 10. So difference is telling us subtract a number and 10. Quotient, telling us dividing, of a number and negative 5. Or that could have been written as x divided by negative 5. But a lot of times in algebra you see it written as a fraction. 4, subtracted from a number. Remember, this is one of those turnaround words. Subtracted from. So it's going to be x minus the 4. The sum of a number and 7. The sum of twice a number. Twice a number would be, twice is 2, x, sum is telling me to add, twice the number, and 7. How about the product of a number? Product is telling us multiply. Product of a number and 10, so we've got 10x, increased by, that means adding, 1. Okay, looking at some more of these. Let's see, number 7, 4 less than a number squared. Less than is telling us, remember it's a turnaround, a number squared and 4 less than that. How about, let's look at number 9. The sum of twice a number and 10 is, that's a word we hadn't talked about, is going to be similar to an equal. So the sum of twice a number and 10 is 36. So we just wrote an equation based on the words alone. How about number 12? 5 times the sum of a number and 6 is 48. 5 times the sum. Remember, this is looking at one of those parenthesis ones. 5 times the sum of a number and 6 is an equal 48. How about number 13? 1/2 of a number. 1/2 of a number is, now we've got our is right here, 8 less than, remember that's one of those turnaround words, 8 less than the number itself. Watch and look for those words. Those key words are going to help you a lot with these. Let's look at 16. 4 less than the product of a number and 7. So a number and 7, product is multiplication. Remember, if there's nothing in between, that's multiplication. So 4 less than that product. So we're subtracting 4. Looking for those turnaround words. Is our equal sign. 8 more than that number. More than is kind of just like that less than. More than that number. It's just not as important because adding 2 plus 3, 3 plus 2 ends up the same. Subtracting makes a difference. Now some more examples of some of these that you might see is when we start getting into some of the inequalities. Remember, we have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. You're going to find some of that in some of these word problems too. So you end up with a number is less than -10. So that's not too hard, right? Let's see, a speed limit of 55 miles an hour. So we'll use X as our speed limit. We know the number's 55. A speed limit of 55. So that means I should be going 55 or less. So can I go 55? Could it be equal to? Remember, if it can be equal to, you put the line underneath. So X is less than or equal to 55. Let's see. A number is at least 16. At least. So is the number or 16 bigger? Well, the number would be at least 16. That means it's got to be bigger than 16, but could it be equal to it? Yep, so you could put the line underneath. How about number 4? Sorry to jump back up. A number is at most 45. That means it has to be less than the 45. Could it be equal to it? Well, yeah. It's at most 45, so it could be equal to. Let's see. You also got words like a maximum number of 55. So a maximum number, that means it's got to be less than or equal to that 25. Or a minimum number means it's got to be greater than or equal to that 5. You can finish your assignment on Clever. Make sure you show me your notes so that you get credit for it.